Jambo, my name is Ngoidila. I live in Masai Mara, Kenya.
Nkoidila belongs to one of Africa's ancient tribes of herdsmen, the Maasai. Proud warriors, the Maasai fear no man and no creature, not even the lions that share their land in Africa's Great Rift Valley. They live a traditional tribal life, moving their cattle seasonally across the grazing lands. But today they are also touched by the modern world, and young boys like Nkoidila are slowly seeing the old ways give way to the new.
Each day starts the same here. The sun comes up and the goats and cows in our enclosure want to go out and graze. My 7 brothers and sisters and I all sleep in the same room with my mother. She wakes us up with breakfast of tea with lots of sugar. The walls of our hut are made of wood and animal dung, but inside it's clean and warm. We feel safe here. A circle of thorn bushes keeps the lions and the hyenas away. We call this enclosure our boma. When the entrance is cleared, the animals are let out onto the pastures to graze. It's my job to help before I go to school, and sometimes we take them far away. My father is a Maasai elder. Today he is happy, but he doesn't often smile. He tells us that smiling and laughing is for women, not us men. My mother is his only wife, but other Maasai men have many. In our culture, it's the woman's job to look after the house and boma. Today, my mother has decided to repair our house and mixes animal dung and water together. She then puts it on the wall, which is built around branches of wood. Then it dries hard in the sun. For me, it's off to school with my friend from over the hill. The walk will take us about half an hour, and we have to watch out for wild animals like elephants. Elephants are dangerous as there is nowhere to hide. You go up a tree and they'll pull you down. You go in a hole and they'll dig you out. My sister's morning job is to fetch firewood. She doesn't go to school as my father cannot afford the school fees. For fathers, it's more important for boys to go to school than girls. At school, we start assembly by singing the national anthem. This is a Catholic school, and I've been given another name here, Emmanuel, which I like the best. At school, we learn English and Swahili, the national language of Kenya. I like English the most because it is the international language of tourists. I want everybody to get an education because it's an important thing. It means people can get good jobs in the future. Everybody should have this chance. Every morning, my mother has to fetch water in a plastic barrel. People are often sick here and sometimes die, and our teachers tell us that one of the main reasons is the water. Our supply is a muddy spring that is not always protected from cattle and sheep. Water is important to us, especially in the dry season, but I worry about the pollution. With school over, it's time to change out of my uniform. I have 2 sets of clothes, one for school and one for home. I look after my clothes carefully, and when they are too small, I pass them on to my younger brothers. Very near to Aboma is the Masai Mara Game Reserve. The animals bring tourists and their money to the area. Tourists say they don't own any cattle, but this cannot be true. They are so rich. Sometimes I go out as a guide and try to practice my English. When they are happy, they give me money, and they always like to listen to my story about when I met 4 lions.
I saw 4 lions. One was just sitting and looking everywhere and saw me. He starts roaring.
While I am away with the tourists, my mother and sister often make necklaces and other jewelry to sell to them. They use beads and traditional Maasai designs. I think my mother makes some of the best jewelry in the Mara. I like to come out with the tourists when I can, because I'm learning many things about their world. The animals look tame and we get very close in the car, but you must never approach on foot. They are wild and can be very dangerous. At home, we worry about the elephants the most because they can crush our homes and sometimes charge for no reason. Of all the animals here, the cheetah is the most beautiful. I've never been this close to one before, and this one I think is moving slowly because she is carrying new cubs inside.
I think a cheetah is pregnant because his belly is too big and breast start coming out.
Sometimes I go with my mother to sell her bead jewelry. My mother likes to wear her ears stretched to make her beautiful. It's because of this money that we can buy clothes and shoes and food, and it pays for my brother and I to go to school.
Okay, 1,000. Okay.
I like it when the long rains come because it cools the land and the grass grows. I wish I lived in a place where it rained every day, not just 1 month a year. On Sundays, there's no school, and I have to take my turn with the cattle. In the morning, my brother and I take them down to the valley to find water and to lick salt. This can be dangerous, as lions can come. At the salt lake, there are many cattle. They love to taste the salt, and we know they need it for their health. Usually, there are warriors nearby with stabbing spears to help us protect the herds. Always there can be lions here. I must keep guard, but it is boring. I would like to own a book and bring it here to read, Then I could study as I watch over the cattle. Some Maasai have come from across the Mara River and now have to return. We all have to help with the cattle drive. There are hippos and crocodiles and strong currents that can quickly sweep our cattle away. Few Maasai can swim, but I have taught myself, though I hate to get my feet wet. Afterwards, my mother and I go to church. We have no building, just a tree to shade us, as we sing praises to God. The church teaches us that some of our traditions are wrong, but many still follow the tribal ways. My uncle is getting married today and has brought his new bride with her head newly shaven, as is the custom. The women laugh and tease her as she walks slowly from her boma to her future husband's house. Then the bridegroom's family must promise to pay her a fair number of cattle, otherwise she won't go in. Once she has entered, she is married, and we all celebrate. This is a lucky wedding, as it rained when the bride left home. Close to my uncle's boma is a piece of land that belongs to my father, and I like to go there with him to sit and talk. My father has no education and only knows the old ways, but he has wisdom and knowledge. He is pleased that tourism has come to the Mara, but often says that the Maasai are not getting a fair deal. When I am older, I would like to be president and to lead our country so that we can see changes. When tourists bring money to the Mara, some of this should be paid by the government to the Maasai. But since 1998, this has not happened. It's been taken by others in the city. At the wedding, the young men jump high to show off to the girls. When I choose a girl, she will have to be educated like me. One day, I want to have children and live in the Mara. But things are changing, and my life will be different from my father's. I am going to study and want other things too.
Yeah.